I don't wanna say anything, cause if I do I might say the wrong words. Oh no. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I'd lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can't we find a single reason not to say goodbye? Oh, if I said what's on my mind, would you stay with me tonight? If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. Oh, would that make you run and hide? Don't know what to do anymore. I'm out of options, nothing's working. I'm out of service. Come help me now, I'm fucking nervous. I'm trying but can't scratch the surface. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I'd lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can't we find a single reason not to say goodbye?
This is the Revolting Blob, and you're watching Cold TV. Ah!
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to this special Tuesday night edition of Pro Wrestling 60. I'm XLJ, the OG, and tonight I'll be flying solo. Mr. B-Roll had a prior engagement, and bear with me, I have been under the weather, so my voice is starting to come back somewhat. So we're gonna power through these next 60 minutes because we got so much to talk about in the world of professional wrestling. So that being said, as Mr. Beaver always says, the clock starts now. Our top story this week here on Pro Wrestling 60 is AEW's Redemption pay-per-view just took place this past Sunday night. The very first AEW Redemption. Solid show. I mean, AEW has been knocking them out of the park with pay-per-views. The best way I can sum this up is our good buddy, the Best Scout Machine, put it. It's like going to a 5-star steakhouse and you're continually getting served like top filet mignon, and this was kind of like some grade A prime rib. Like, it's a solid show. Now, if you're comparing it to other AEW pay-per-views, maybe not as solid of an outing, but still, I mean, that's nitpicking. I mean, because this was a hell of a show. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about that main event. Champion versus champion for the AEW World Title. Kevin Knight wanting to become Mr. Two Belts, going against Kenny Omega, your AEW World Champion. This was a fun match. It was a solid match. Here's my thing, okay? And once again, maybe this is me just nitpicking here, I think Kevin Knight's he's a pretty talented dude, but I don't know. I'm just not fully. I haven't been fully sold on him yet. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. He's pretty damn good, but being in a main event of a big show, like I don't know. He's gonna get. I mean, this was a huge for him. Like this is kind of because I mean he could go with Kenny. This was a solid matchup. And once again, I think this is kind of nitpicking, but it's the reality of the situation. AEW television has been putting out like incredible main event matches. You go back to, what 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, a month ago, when Kenny and MJF met for the AEW World Championship. So as far as like looking at the criteria of this being like a pay-per-view main event for AEW, it wasn't bad by any means. It's just like we were saying with Best Scout, it's like not like top tier that we are so blessed with getting all the time. Isn't that right, Reggie? But yeah, still solid matchup and a solid outing, but from Kevin Knight. But no shocker, Kenny Omega retains the AEW World Championship. But what was probably the most important aspect of this is what happened after the match. So earlier in the night, we're going to talk about this, the Young Bucks got a victory over Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. So the whole Death Riders come on out afterwards, pretty much attacking Kenny. And pretty much Mox giving kind of this ultimatum to Ospreay to more or less into Kenny Omega's life because, that's what the Death Riders do, right? But Will Ospreay kind of like having that moment where he's just like, okay, nope, I'm not going to do it this way, bruv. I'm going to do it my way, bruv. And pretty much standing up to the Death Rider. So obviously, no shocker, Will Ospreay not a Death Rider anymore, as that has officially ended. And then at the end of the night, you have kind of this show off between Kenny and Ospreay. And then Kenny comes from behind and hits Ospreay with the one-wing angel. A lot of people saying this is like a heel turn. I don't see it that way. The way I look at it is, and I apologize if my voice is cracking through this. Like I say, recovering. Adulting sucks. Fuck the flu. But no, I feel like this was kind of Kenny's just saying like, okay, smarten up, Will. Like you smarten up to finally, you shouldn't have been into this bullshit with the Death Riders, but guess what? We're on a collision course for the biggest pay-per-view of the year. It's the biggest match of your life. You've got all the tools. You're there, but you need to smarten up. So I think it was just, that's the way I interpreted it. I don't know. We'll see what plays out over television these next couple weeks because it's crazy to say it, but we're on the road to All In. And we know there's a collision course between these two in the main event of Wembley for the AEW World Championship. I feel like the Will Ospreay story to me has been pretty fascinating so far. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching his character develop, what all is going on with Will Ospreay right now, and his road to get to Wembley, which I mean, I think a lot of us would be pretty shocked if that crowning moment doesn't happen for Will at Wembley. But I think it's kind of like, here's the thing. It's like our good buddy, shout out to the Wrestle Talk I'm sorry. Words are hard, especially recovering from sore throat. It's like our good buddy Hambone says. Like, if it makes sense, and it's good solid booking, then like that's fine if it's obvious. And I think that's what we're going to get case. It's going to be very interesting to see like Will Ospreay, how he is going to be these next couple of weeks going into the biggest match of his career. Also, too, what's going to be the aftermath with the Death Riders? Are they going to have something to say about this? I mean, because you look at it this way, at this point, Will Ospreay is kind of on an island unto himself. And I mean, you could argue United Empire and New Japan, but I think there's some beef there too as well. So once again, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens come All In. And speaking of All In, sorry, I don't have a slide for this, but there was a major AEW Women's Championship matchup at Redemption with huge ramifications. Willow Nightingale challenging Tekla for that AEW Women's Championship, and I gotta say it was a fun, awesome matchup. But what a crowning achievement in a moment for Willow Nightingale. Excuse me, who is your new AEW Women's World Champion, and in doing so, she is also now the first ever Triple Crown Women's winner in AEW. So in other words, she's held the TBS title, the tag titles, and now the women's title. And she's on a collision course for Wembley too, as she's going to meet Mercedes Moné in a tremendous rivalry they have had. And coming to a head at Wembley, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But also at Redemption, maybe the biggest shocker of the night, possibly. Hikaru Shida defending the TBS championship against Maya World. And man, Maya has had what an amazing month she has had here recently. I mean, making it all the way to the finals of the Owen. It was on her birthday, and guess what? Maya World would not give up to Shida, and she defeated Hikaru Shida. She's now your new TBS Women's Champion. I don't think myself included, a lot of us didn't see that coming. Congratulations to Maya World and Willow Nightingale, as they are wrestlers of the week here on PW60. But man, oh man, some tremendous moments there at Redemption for both the women's championship matches. Some really amazing, awesome. Just you love to see people who deserve a run with their respective championship titles. So, congratulations to both. Be interested to see what Maya does with the TBS championship going forward. She is an incredible young talent. And it just goes to show you, man. It just goes to show you, you put in the work and the effort, you get noticed. Just think about that. Where she was, what was that? Wasn't even a year ago. Stepping up as an enhancement talent role, and now she's TBS champion. Go figure. So congratulations to her, and of course Willow, who definitely deserves it. It's awesome to see both of them on top with their respective championships. Also, speaking on top, Andrade El Idolo would successfully defeat Mark Davis Dunkzilla for the AEW National Championship. Of course, this would be Andrade's first singles championship in All Elite Wrestling. Andrade, man, is one of them stories. I tell you, what an amazing comeback year he's had. I mean, when people say he was coming back to AEW for the second time, truth be told, and once again, myself included, didn't think okay, this it'll be all right, but didn't think the run would be this good. But Andrade, man, he is killing it right now. The national champion now, still got his ward of wage with the Don Callis family. You got to think he's got a future championship match here in the very near future as well. But Andrade had a hell of a night at Redemption. Congratulations to him too. I feel like the show was interesting because it was like if you look at the last kind of the first half and the second half of the show, the second half is where you had these big title change moments, so to speak. So, and of course the aftermath of what happened in the main event. But once again, congratulations to Andrade. We mentioned it earlier. So the Young Bucks went to war with Mox and Will Ospreay. Mox trying to pretty much just annihilate the Bucks and targeting the neck. Will Ospreay stepping in, not allowing a chair to be used. Ultimately, it cost him the matchup. Also, there's a lot of people pissed off about some of the spots in this one. I get it, but I mean, have you not seen a Young Bucks match before? That's kind of their thing, But I didn't mind it. It is what it is. But a good, fun tag team match. And honestly, it was a big part of the storytelling going on for Ospreay and the Death Riders and Kenny and the Elite. So big win for the Young Bucks. And in doing so, they pretty much guaranteed themselves a shot at the AEW World Tag Team Championships. Speaking of which, those tag titles were on the line at Redemption as Cope and Christian would defend against the Death Riders Pac and Claudio Castagnoli. Of course, Cope and Christian would pick up the win, retain the tag titles, and now they're on a collision course for a massive one-on-one matchup at Wembley Stadium at All In. It's a dream tag team matchup. Cope and Christian will defend the AEW World Tag Team titles against the Young Bucks. This is a match we've been waiting to see a long time. Makes sense for it to be on the biggest show of the year for AEW. So, I mean, we're already, we've got 3 massive matchups going into Wembley that are going to be, could be show-stealing, air-defining type of matchups. So, plenty more to come as we're now on that road to All In. But man, oh man, so far it's looking pretty darn good. But Cope and Christian once again retaining the tag team championships. Also retaining his respective championship. Kyle Fletcher would retain the international title in a war with Bandito. We knew this was going to be incredible knowing both these guys. I don't know what it is, man, but there's just something about if you're getting a Kyle Fletcher match, you know it's going to be a contender for match of the night. And of course, yes, this match is our match of the week here on PW60. I mean, this was a 25-minute war for that international title, back and forth. But Kyle Fletcher somehow would retain and is still your international champion. Still keeping that belt in the Don Callis family. But like I say, man, there's just something about Kyle Fletcher matches. They're just so special. And when you put a guy like Bandito in there, yeah, it's going to be, as you kids call, a banger for sure. But once again, Kyle Fletcher retaining the international championship. We also had the no-holds-barred matchup between Tommaso Ciampa and Painmaker. All right, what's with the names? Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. So we're not calling him Chris Jericho. Now he's just Jericho. Okay, I get it. This is a different version of Jericho. It's Painmaker. Is it cringe? Yeah. But let me say this. It's not nearly as cringe as the shit he was doing with the Learning Tree. I will say that. But again, maybe that's not saying much. Not a bad match. If you like kind of hardcore stuff, I mean, this is definitely in your wheelhouse. A lot of blood in this one. I did like the spot with the Ciampa putting on the Bruins jersey and taking out the mascot for the I guess it would have been the Canadians, wouldn't it? The Montreal, yeah, because it was in Montreal. So yeah, I guess for the Canadians and stuff, and then craziness with the drill here in the end of this. But Painmaker will pick up the win and will continue his midlife crisis. I mean, he would continue. I'm sorry, what can you say? It is what it is, man. It's not like I say. It's still pretty decent. He's had some solid matches with Ricochet and stuff since he's come back. And this feud with Ciampa was pretty fun. Are we done with it? I think so, but time will tell. I don't know, because Ciampa may just go after Chris Jericho and not want to mess with Painmaker, right? That's another story. Also, kicking off the pay-per-view, Speedball Mike Bailey would get a big win in his home country as he would defeat 5 other competitors in a ladder match to become the new number 1 contender for the International Championship. He will challenge Kyle Fletcher. And that matchup, we do know, will take place at Grand Slam, Mexico. And those guys have met before back in the Continental Classic, had an awesome matchup. Remember, Speedball got a win over Kyle Fletcher. He very well could do it again as he is the number 1 contender. But what a way to kick off the show. Of course, anytime you got that hometown vibe, it's going to be great. That Canadian crowd was giving Speedball some love. And how can you not? Speedball, man. We love Speedball. So big win for him. And also, we had a chain matchup between the Dogs and the Bang Bang Gang, which was fine and all. But I can't do David Finlay, you guys and gals. I can't do it. anytime that pissant is on my TV, I'm sorry, this was my piss break match. I can't do David Finlay. The rest of the dogs are fine. I like Gabe Kidd. Clark Connors is decent. But I can't do fucking David Finlay. And you know, part of the reason why I can't stand David Finlay is when he was a tag team with Juice Robinson, Finn Juice, all them years ago in New Japan. And of course, Juice was in this one. And the fact that Jay White, I feel bad for Jay White, kind of. I get why they're doing this, but can we just get past this shit and move on to where, like, Jay White's in the main event scene again? That's where the Switchblade belongs, in my opinion. This match happened. The dogs win. Probably not done with this rivalry. I don't really care, if I'm being quite frank, is what it is. Let's talk about the buy-in. Kicking off Redemption. You had the conglomeration successfully retain their Trios Championship against Jay Lethal and the Swirl. So conglomeration still the champs. They're on a collision course now with Ricochet and the Gates of Agony. So that matchup, I don't know if it's this Wednesday, but it's coming. Maybe at Collision. But hence why I had the little pun there. Also, pretty cool moment there. Had a special tribute to the Rougeau brothers. Of course, Montreal's own Jacques and Raymond. The fabulous Rougeau brothers with a long storied career, not only in the world of pro wrestling, but especially in Montreal as promoters, running many of shows there. So it was cool. One thing I like that AEW does is how when they're in different towns like this, different wrestling cities, how they pay tribute and homage to those promoters, wrestlers, etc. From that area. And they did it again at the buy-in or at Redemption in Montreal. So, of course, if you want to catch a replay of Redemption, you can go over to HBO Max, Amazon Prime, and any other major pay-per-view provider to catch a replay of it. Or you could be very naughty and stream it illegally. I'm not going to tell you how, because I really don't know how, because I like to spend my hard-earned money on AEW. Anyways, all right, let's get into something. Really excited here. It is G1 season. The G1 Climax, of course, is kicked off, as you all know, watching here on Cole TV. A couple weeks ago, we had our G1 week. We were there in Chicago for the kickoff. And we got an update on the rankings. I got to tell you, this G1 is a career-defining. You talk about the beginning of a new era. That gets thrown around a lot in pro wrestling. But no, seriously, this is a new era in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. This G1 represents it because you have so many young, new, talented faces. And the field's loaded. I mean, there's so many guys that could win this thing. It's crazy. But let's kind of break down some of the highlights as we are already on to night 8, which will take place tomorrow, actually. Let's run down some of these big moments that happened. First off, on night 2, what a tremendous matchup, main event with Hiroki Goto going against Yota Tsuji. Of course, Yota Tsuji, as we all know, the current IWGP champion, but the veteran Hiroki Goto picking up a huge win, defeating the IWGP champion. So you know what that means, folks. It means Hiroki Goto, somewhere down the line, he is going to have a championship opportunity for that IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Great matchup. I was very surprised with the finish, but absolutely loved it. Excuse me. But it's a tremendous matchup nonetheless. A huge win for Hiroki Goto. Also on this night, too, we had a big matchup. Driller Maloney going up against Gabe Kidd in first round action. Of course, as we all know, Gabe Kidd unable to compete in Chicago due to the visa issues. So this was their first matchup in the G1. And a shocker, kind of, if you will, Driller Maloney picking up a huge win against his former friend. Also, keep in mind, Gabe Kidd is the global champion, so that would mean at some point Driller Maloney is going to likely get a global heavyweight championship matchup. So Driller Maloney with a huge win there on night 2 of action. Let's talk about night 3 and the big highlight coming out there. You talk about a coming out moment. Uemura would defeat Zack Sabre Jr. in the main event in a career-defining win. They've only met once before. I'm telling you, watch this matchup. This easily probably top 3, I would say. Maybe top 2 of my favorite G1 matches so far. And that's the beautiful thing with this tournament. I mean, yes, it's a tournament and it's great, like competitors, but also they tell a ton of stories in this tournament. And I can tell you, like, this just shows you that Uemura is a bona fide star. I've said this for a while, and I will preach it. 3 Musketeers in New Japan right now. I don't care what everybody says. It's Tsuji, it's Shota Umino, it's Uemura. It's not Ren Narita. Yua is the guy. Tremendous win for him against Zack Sabre Jr. In that main event. Awesome matchup. Moving on to night 4. Talk about a Haas fight. We have Boltin Oleg going up against Shingo Takagi in a war. Boltin Oleg would pick up a huge win, defeating Shingo to get 2 points and advance and continue on in the block. Moving forward to night 5 in the main event, Callum Newman would defeat fellow countryman Zack Sabre Jr. In a tremendous matchup. Of course, Callum Newman, what Callum Newman does, he doesn't need to, but a little grab of the trunks there, a little cheeky bugger. But nonetheless, hey, man, any way to get them points. So Callum Newman picking up some big points against Zack Sabre Jr. Also on that night, you talk about tremendous matchup. Driller Maloney going up against Uemura, and Driller Maloney getting another huge win against Uemura, who is easily like one of the top guys there in B block. So Driller Maloney with some key wins right off the bat here in this G1. Going into night 6, tremendous main event between stablemates. You had Yota Tsuji going up against Shingo Takagi. Another one of the highlights of the great matches that's happened so far in the G1 tournament this year. It comes down to the wire, but Yota Tsuji would defeat Shingo Takagi to get those ever important 2 points in A block. But tremendous matchup. And then rounding out that, or actually, here's an update for you on B block. Okay, so right now, as it stands, we got a 3-way tie. And I don't think anybody saw these 3 names being there. We got Driller Maloney, we've got Hanare, and Gabe Kidd are all tied for first. Now, granted, we got plenty more of G1 to go, but Driller Maloney, you got to look at it this way. This is going to boil down to tiebreakers, and he has already defeated Gabe Kidd. He's already defeated Uemura. He's defeated excuse me. Sorry, I was getting ready to be. He's already defeated, like I said, Uemura. He's got some tremendous wins already on the board. Now, I will say, I think his only loss did come against Hanare. And Hanare is another one of those guys, too, man. Started off kind of slow with the loss to Aaron Wolf, but after that, he's been red hot since. So we still got a lot of time to go in the G1, of course. But those are your top 3. Of course, following them right after that, you got Callum Newman and Oscar with 6 points apiece. And then with 4 points apiece, you got Uemura, Ren Narita, Aaron Wolf, and Zack Sabre Jr. with 2. Now, a notable name that we're not talking about, you see, has 0 points and will have 0 points, unfortunately, is Shota Umino, which was my pick to win the thing. Unfortunately, Shooter, after Chicago, after that loss to Zack Sabre Jr., suffering some concussion-like symptoms and being pulled from the G1 Climax. So Shooter is out of the tournament. So what that essentially means for everybody, that everybody gets 2 points automatically. Zack Sabre Jr. had a huge disadvantage because, I mean, granted, he got the points, but he had to earn those points. So, nonetheless, that's your update on B block. We're going to talk about A block, but I want to talk about this really briefly. Big news coming out going into the G1 climax, into the semifinals. As we announced here over a month ago, Hiroshi Tenzan, the great Hiroshi Tenzan, will be retiring from professional wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he has made it official. His last matchup will be against his longtime friend and tag team partner, Satoshi Kojima. So it will be in a one-on-one matchup, not a tag team or anything like that. It'll be a one-on-one, one last hurrah for Hiroshi Tenzan as he goes one-on-one against Satoshi Kojima. And this matchup will take place at the G1 Climax semifinals. This one-on-one matchup will take place. And there's so much historic with this, of course, with it being Tenzan, with it being against his longtime friend, Kojima. Also, too, man, Tenzan, it's literally Masahiro Chono and then like Hiroshi Tenzan, like right there, the top two greatest performers in G1 Climax history. With a, I believe he won a total, I know he won at least 3, but maybe 4 G1 wins under his belt, the second most in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. To give you an idea, mid-2000s Tenzan was like unstoppable. So Tenzan, when he won, I think it was 2005 or 6, when he won, he defeated, get this lineup, Shinsuke Nakamura, Katsuyori Shibata, and Hiroshi Tenzan, or I'm sorry, and good Lord Almighty, the Ace. I don't know why I am drawing a fucking blank. Sorry, Cold Medicine will do that. Jesus Christ, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Jesus, brain just literally was like, "Fuck you, I'm shutting down." So in the span, but the thing is, that's not the span of a G1 tournament. He did that in one night. Tenzan defeated Nakamura, he defeated Shibata, and he defeated Tanahashi all in one night. Of course, the G1 was a lot different, kind of how it ran then. But nonetheless, it just shows you the greatness of Hiroshi Tenzan. He's one of the all-time great performers, multi-time IWGP heavyweight champion. Man's virtually held it all. And he's going to have a tremendous send-off at the semifinal against Satoshi Kojima. Now, with an update, let's go over on A Block. A Block's a lot closer of a race. Now, granted, we got so much more time to go. But right now, in the driver's seat, it is Takeshita. He's got 6 points. But then look how close this is. Everybody else pretty much with 4 points. Goto, Oleg, Tsuji, Jake Lee, Sanada, Great-O-Khan, Yuta Ice, Rhea Owai, and Shingo Takagi coming in last place with 2. But all it takes is a couple wins, and he's like back in the top. So it could go any way, literally, on this. We are far from over. We've got, I believe the final actually takes place, I want to say, August the 15th. So we still got a couple more weeks of plenty more action coming to you in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. The G1 is always the most exciting, wonderful time of year. And already we've seen some tremendous matches, some tremendous stories unfold in this G1 tournament. And there's plenty more to come. But man, oh man, so far it's been a tremendous G1. Do yourself a favor. Seriously, go over to New Japan World. It's only like $10 a month. And not only do you get like access to all the G1 matches, but you can go back and watch all of New Japan's content. If you want to watch previous G1s, you can do it. You want to watch previous Wrestle Kingdoms, you can do it. Dominions, so much more. It's well worth it. Can't say enough. And it's exciting too, because like I say, New Japan really is in this new exciting era. From everybody, like these top names, like of course Tsuji, of course Umina, Yu Uemura, Ryo Y is an incredible talent to watch. The best tag team going today, Yuta Ice and Oscar. Those guys are incredible. The stuff Jake Lee is doing is awesome. And then you see like brutes like Bolton Oleg and Aaron Wolf and stuff, and then technical wizards. Like it's weird to think Zack Sabre Jr. is like kind of like a Federer now, but he is. But yeah, the G1 is killing it right now. Go subscribe. Go check out all these amazing matchups. You won't regret it. I guarantee it. And this time of year, especially in Japan, it's the most wonderful time of the year because it's tournament season. Because not only do we have that, Stardom's G1, the 5-star Grand Prix, is underway. Quite a bit of action has happened in this so far. Of course, you have the Red Stars A and B and the Blue Stars A and B blocks. So let's talk about them. Now, in the Red Stars A, you have, with 8 points, Itsuka Ioka. Now, right behind her is Makaya with 6. Asumi, Tomaki Inaba, Sayaka Kura, Natsui Tora, all with 4 points. Lot more still to go there, so that's not that's, and like I say, that's the beautiful thing about these tournaments, especially like if you come in and watch it right now where you're kind of like through that halfway point. There's so much can happen. It's fascinating to see like kind of who takes the leads early on in these tournaments, but then it's really even fascinating to see how they end up. So that is where we stand in the Red Stars A. Now let's talk about Red Stars B. Now on the B side of things, we have got a 3-way tie here with Sayalita, Rina Yamsta, and Konami. And then right behind her, you got Maki Ito, everybody's favorite idol, with 5 points. You got Mia Sarai and Asusi Inaba and Utami Haishita all with 3 points as well. Man, that Red Stars B is a loaded block too. So very close, very tight race there. Still plenty more action to come. Now let's go over to the Blue Stars and looking at Blue Stars A block. It's still very early on. We got Uraka and Suzy Suzuki with 4 points. Aya, Sakara, Hina, and Hanako, and Julia Hart with 2 points. Of course, Julia Hart like a last-minute replacement for Blair Davenport. So her making her 5-star Grand Prix debut. So that is your up-to-date on the Blue Stars and A. And let's talk about the Blue Stars B block and what we're looking at there. Now in the B block, once again, we got a 3-way tie with Kogumi, Hanan, and Momo Watanabe all with 4 points. And then you got Amy Sori with 2 points and Saya Kamatani along with Starlight Kid with 1 point. What a matchup. Holy crap that was. So ending in a draw between those two phenomenal competitors. A lot more to go on the 5-star Grand Prix. I mean, they're really just getting started. So we'll keep you up to date here on PW60 with all the fallout from the 5-star Grand Prix. And hey, that's not the only tournament going on in the world of Joshi over on TJPW. We have got the TJPW's Princess Cup. I think this is the 16th one, I believe. Or no, this is the 13th one. I apologize. So now this is the Princess Cup is different because it's single elimination. So it's not a round robin block style setup. So pretty much you lose, you're done. You're out of here. You're gone. So we went through first and second round action. Breaking it down, the first round, Toga defeated Momo Saito. Susumi would defeat Shion Kansaki. Wakanana Uara defeated Mifu Ashida. Ariso Endo would defeat Sakura Hitori. Masuki would defeat Raku. Miya Watanabe getting a win against Ren Konoshita. Miyu Yamashita would defeat Yuta Takami. And rounding out action, Princess of Princess champion Yuka Arai would defeat Haru Kasashiro. So thus setting up the second round. And in the second round of action, you saw Arusio Endo would defeat Chika Nasai. Himamara would defeat Wakayana Uaro. We also had Hyper Misao defeat Musuki, and Rika Tatsima defeated Mia Yamcha. Also, keep in mind there was a couple upsets there in the second round there, but we got plenty of more to go in the Princess tournament as well. Of course, we'll have the results for you here on PW60 for that as well. Also, keeping it in the world of Joshi, Sendai Girls had their 20th anniversary show. It's crazy to think 20 years, man. Big show. In the main event, your Sendai champion, Chihiro Hashimoto, would successfully defend her championship against Surai in a tremendous matchup. Or Suri, I'm sorry. Also, you see on here, El Desperado was in action too, teaming up with the great Ryu Misanami, and they would defeat Kuroshio and Finney in a matchup. You also had a junior championship matchup with Spike Nishimuro successfully retaining the junior title against Yuna, and several other tremendous matchups and fun matchups on this show as well, including Hiro Matsumoto defeating Shin Sakura Hirota. But do yourself a favor. We talk about it all the time, folks. How can you watch this? How can you catch a replay of TJPW, catch a replay of Noah, catch a replay of Sendai Girls, and so much other amazing Japanese professional wrestling action? Well, my friends, you can go over to the Wrestle Universe app, sign up, subscribe. It's only like $10 a month, and you get some of the best Japanese wrestling available. Highly recommend it. DDT included on that as well. So, going back here, keeping it Joshi, got to talk about this. This was huge. Opening night of the 5-Star Grand Prix, we have new, excuse me, the Artists of Stardom champions, the Triangle of Madness, would win these titles. What a way to kick it off, especially for Julia Hart being in the 5-Star Grand Prix. And Tekla, with her war continued to be waged with Stardom. Huge win for her. Huge win for the Triangle of Madness, as they are the Artists of Stardom champions. Also, we got to talk about this. This was big news coming out of Stardom. We did find out that Natsupoi has officially announced her retirement. So she will be retiring in, I believe her last match is scheduled January 5th, right around like Tokyo, the big shows there at the beginning of the year. So Natsupoi, incredible career, but it will come to an end coming up on January the 5th. Well, it's that time of the show. Let's go to our good friend Spicy Guac with a spicy take.
This is your boy Spicy Guac. Suck it.
Yep, the champ is here. Let's continue talking about some more happenings in the world of Japanese pro wrestling. Pro Wrestling Noah's big summer epic took place. And boy, oh boy, this is lining up for what's going to be very interesting in the world of Noah. Mainly, let's talk about that main event. Shane Haste, once again, successful title defense as he would defeat Osawa to retain the GHC Heavyweight Championship. But the story coming out of it, as far as I'm concerned, we got a new number one contender for the GHC Heavyweight Championship. It's long overdue. Tetsuya Naito defeated Kaito Kiyomiya to become the new number one contender. Thus, he is now guaranteed a shot against Shane Haste. We all know about the legend of Naito and what all he did in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's finally going to get a shot at that GHC Heavyweight Championship. Shane Haste has been very impressive watching this young man so far, but I got a feeling it's coming to an end because I think, I know, Naito will walk out your GHC Heavyweight Champion. Also on this show, Marufuji successfully retained the GHC national title against Kino in a hell of a matchup. Manabu Soyai and Yuka Ino successfully retained their GHC tag team titles against Masaki Tamiya and Takeshi Suguri. And Ita would successfully retain the GHC junior title against Bushi. Also, There was that crazy ass 7-way ladder matchup with Alpha Wolf winning and getting an entry in the N1 victory. Of course, the N1 victory will be coming up here soon. That's the equivalent of the G1 Climax for pro wrestling. Now, hell of a show. Like I say, go to the Wrestle Universe app, download it, pay the $10. You can watch this awesome show along with so much other amazing Japanese wrestling shows that they have available there. So, Progress Wrestling in a new era, and it seems like it's been a minute since we talked about this, but they had a huge show this past Sunday. It was Chapter 196. It was Scorchio. Of course, this is under the new era, this new ownership, of course, of Nikki Storm and Big Damo, now the owners of Progress, and it turned out a hell of a show. Speaking of which, it's great to see Nikki Storm again, the greatest in the galaxy, kicking off this show with a huge win against Session Moth Martina. Man, she looks great. Like she just belongs in European wrestling. Like, I mean, she made such a name for herself in like ICW and Progress and all these other great European companies. So it's awesome to see her come back, especially like now as an owner as well. It's gonna be very interesting to see how that progresses. See what I did there because it's Progress. Anyways, speaking of the women's division, though, like a big turning point for Progress as Rio, who we've talked about time and time again. We think she is. We don't think, we know she's the best women's wrestler going today, best UK wrestler going today. She would defeat Alexis Falcon, and she is once again your Progress Women's World Champion is Rio, picking up a huge win. I don't know who the hell is going to stop her. I don't even know. It's amazing to me that she lost the damn title from the get-go. So, also, man, you talk about some craziness. What about in the Progress Atlas Championship? Ended up in a no contest with Shaw Samuels showing up and attacking both G Money and Tommy Tanner. We'll see where that goes. But the big one, the main event here, remember, you had Charles Crawley finally getting his shot at the Progress Men's World Championship against Cara Noir. Cara Noir would retain his championship. But, man, the aftermath of this, with him taking out Crawley's little buddy, the little monkey. Oh, so heartbreaking to see. Cara Noir will go to no ends to be top in the world of Progress Wrestling. But a huge win and retain for him. But I think Charles Crawley, we're far from him. That's going to be a feel-good moment. It's going to happen at some point. Charles Crawley will get his revenge and get that men's Progress World Championship here sooner rather than later. But you can actually catch a replay of this over on Triller TV. Now, I will say one thing Progress did for the first time. Now, I don't know if the replays cost, but to watch the show live, it was like $7.99. You may have to pay, but if you do, it's only $8. Shit, it's worth it because it was an awesome show. The vibe at Progress shows is always incredible too. So check them out over on Triller TV. Excuse me. GCW had a couple big shows: the Tussle in Tulsa, and the Life of a Boss. There a couple weekends ago. Of course, the Koger brothers successfully retaining their championships in individual matchups. Joey Janela continuing his continuing of losing matches. As we're on the road to Homecoming. Speaking of Homecoming, we got an update for you coming up, of course, Saturday and Sunday, August 15th and 16th. Easily biggest show of the year for GCW. We know on Saturday we're going to get a tremendous, like you talk about a death match for wrestling fans, wet dream. Look at this. Nick Gage, Sicko the Clown, and Nino Extremo to take on Dr. Redacted, Connor Claxton, Jimmy Lloyd. Also, the GCW tag titles are going to be on the line. Busta and the Brain defending against Sam Stackhouse and KJ Orso. Also, you're going to see that one-on-one matchup with Marco Stunt and Joey Janela. And plenty more matches still to come and be named. Stay tuned here for PW60 as we'll have more of an update for you as we get closer and closer to Homecoming. Wrestling Revolver had a big show this past Friday. Silence of the Slams. And, of course, the big headliner here was the return of Jon Moxley to Wrestling Revolver. Also, you had what a matchup with Joseph Sawyer, the former Joe Gacy, going up against a rival in Rich Swann. Of course, Joseph Sawyer picking up a big win. Or actually, Rich Swann picking up a big win in that one. You can catch a replay of this show actually over on their YouTube channel, but there were some awesome matches on this one. There was the open in-fight scramble matchup. Jonathan Gresham and Adam Pearce as the tag team is chef's kiss. Billy Starks was in action as well. Mance Warner and Steph DeLander in action. Like I say, check them out on YouTube. You can catch a replay of Wrestling Revolver's Silence of the Slams. Beyond Wrestling had a secret show or something or whatever, which I believe this was booked by like Orange Cassidy. And this if you liked Chikara wrestling back in the day, like this is for you. There was, like, to give you an idea of some of the matches on this show, a 7 out of 13 falls matchup. You had a falls only count under the ring match, the floor is lava match, a two fall match, like 1-2. That's how you win the match. The only way you can win is using a top rope. Like, this is crazy. There was guys like dressed in like Swamp Thing suits, a bunch of gimmick matches. It's wild. It's crazy. I'm not even sure where you can see. I want to say this is like on YouTube possibly, but I need to do a deep dive and watch this. But this show was bonkers to say the least. Also in the world of independent wrestling, big moment here. You had Peter Avalon's More Wrestling make their show debut in Los Angeles. So anytime any independent wrestling show is going down in LA, our good buddy the Best Scout Machine is going to be there. So that being said, check out some highlights from the Best Scout Machine's vlog on More Wrestling.
All right, we are in South Pasadena for More Wrestling. Peter Avalon's More Wrestling. And hold on, is that better? Is that better? Yeah, it's a little better. Yeah, it's Sid the Cat in South Pasadena, which was really easy for me to get to because it's literally walking distance from my job. It's like not even half a mile. I just walked here. I clocked out and I walked here, and now I'm like really, really early. But I'm here for wrestling. Yeah!
Google me. You said. Yeah, Google me now. You're gonna uppercut someone's dick. TikTok these nuts.
No pass! 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 Oh! Can't uppercut his dick. Let him uppercut his dick. One, two. Nope. Not gonna happen. Whoa. Come on! Come on! Now! Oh! Magic! Magic! Oh, Lord God! Oh, I'm so sexy! He did now. Oh, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, shit. Oh, God! Loose it! One, two, three! Woo! You guys are so smart. Oh, shit. I am all in the action here. What's happening here? What's happening here? Oh, God! How do you end up in the vortex of that? Nice. Yes, look. Oh, shit. Oh, get out of the way. Oh, hell! Guys! I'm in danger. What? Oh, Matthew, what are you doing? Matthew, get up. Oh, hell. A good sturdy table from Lowe's. I am the table. One, two, three.
Well, there you see some highlights from Best Scouts time there. And you can catch the whole vlog over on Best Scouts YouTube channel. You see I got Reggie joining me here now to co-host the rest of the show. Isn't that right, Reggie? Yeah. So, yeah, go check out. You can see he was ringside for that one. Doesn't get much better seats than that, folks. Of course, it's that amazing time of a year if you are a geek or a nerd. It's San Diego Comic-Con just happened recently. A lot of huge announcements coming out of there in the world of comic books and cinema and whatnot. AEW had a pretty cool presence, though, as they were giving out AEW-themed popsicles, which was pretty cool. So they had a treat truck there, Orange Cassidy, Anthony Bowens and stuff giving out some free treats there to the San Diego crowd. So pretty cool to see their presence there at San Diego Comic-Con. Okay, this is definitely not on my bingo card. It was officially announced that Nixon Newell will not only be competing in CCW in a death match, and she's also as part of Tournament of Death. And in the first roundup, she's going against Mickey Knuckles. Pray for Nixon Newell, folks. Pray for her. She's going to need it. That is just completely random, but not as random as this. Luigi Primo showed up on TMC's live stream and was crashing the party. Flipping pizzas and doing his thing, man. So pretty random indeed, but you know what also is random? Our good buddy Brian, as he's got his random moment of the week here at PW60. Let's go to Brian.
Hi, back again, and yeah, my moment of the week. It's my time. All that stuff. Hi, yet again. Better go tee up in this place. Okay, so a lot of times I know I try to keep it with the current product best I can. I've been working a lot of overtime here recently. Not that that's a bad thing. Oh, money, money, money. Almost like Shane McMahon with, here comes the money. Money, money. It's not like that. Just not that much, unfortunately. Yeah. So where was I going with that? I don't know. We don't even know. Let's figure it out together. Actually, I do. Here we go. Okay, looking back at the history of pro wrestling, a lot of times in our 2 minutes or so of random together here on the Pizza the Dub to the 60. Big shout out to the rest of the crew also, by the way. Show them much love if you haven't already. And if you haven't, oh, what you doing, fool? All right, so let's look back at the storyline with the NWO in 1996 through 1997, and of course, Crow version of Sting. I saw a video earlier today over on the Tick to the Talk and Don't Stop, and somebody talked about it, and they told it very perfectly how WWE's writing nowadays could borrow from the way the anticipation, the long, slow build that they had with Sting. Now, of course, we know what happened at Starrcade 97, but the build up to it was perfect from 96 all the way through. So, here's a what if. What if Sting would have cleanly beat Hulk Hogan at Starrcade 97? What do you think the outcome going forward would have been for WCW? How much more of the NWO storyline would have happened? Would the split with the Wolfpack happen sooner? Not happen at all? What do you think? So there we go, wrapping it up over there. Cool. Bye.
Thank you so much, Brian. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. And our last story this week, unfortunately, we've lost another great in the world of pro wrestling, Doug Stahl, who was a longtime competitor in Eastern Championship Wrestling as part of the Destroyers. He was Super Destroyer number 2, the masked tag team, the Super Destroyers, the first ever ECW tag team champions, by the way. So sad to see what a great career he had in the world of pro wrestling. Though also, I believe he ended up going on and I think he did something like real estate or something like that. But gone far too soon. We here at Pro Wrestling 60 want to wish our deepest condolences to the Stahl family, and go back and watch some of his stuff, man. He had an impressive career there in the early days of ECW. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this special Tuesday night edition of PW60. Once again, apologize kind of for the going solo and the voice, but we made it through nonetheless. And don't forget to tune in here in a couple of weeks as we'll have more updates on the G1 Climax. We'll also, on that road to All In, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of discussions on that as well. And what's going on in the 5-Star Grand Prix, the TJPW Princess Cup, and so much more. Until next time, Reggie and I say goodnight. And we'll see you on another episode of Pro Wrestling 60. Everybody take care. Have a good week. Bye.